Welcome to BiT, a free online brownfields inventory, environmental site tracking, and funding management database. This tutorial will cover some BiT basics for how to get started. First things first, to access BiT, visit the eTools webpage under ksutab.org and select BiT from the right side menu or scroll down to the green button to access the BiT landing page. Once you have an established BiT account, you can bookmark this landing page for quicker access. Click Get Started with BiT to move into the sign-in page. You must have a BiT account in order to access BiT. BiT accounts are free, and if you do not have one, you can sign up for one easily by clicking Sign Up here on the bottom of your screen. Upon login, you are directed to the BiT homepage, which provides useful tips for using the tool, setting up a program, or accessing existing programs. Creating a program in BiT is the first essential step. All new users must first create a program. Existing users may create a new program or select an existing program from the drop-down menu. When designating a program name, keep it simple yet detailed and clear enough to understand the sites being tracked under that program. Examples of some common program names may include an EPA grant, a neighborhood or street or corridor, or perhaps type of site inventories. Now that you have an established program, users can move on to other administrative functions. Under Manage Participants, you may elect to add collaborators to a BiT program and grant them certain permission levels. Collaborators may be granted one of 3 permission levels. Review the description for each level and select the one most appropriate for each collaborator. Collaborators may be invited by adding in their email address, selecting their permission level, and sending them an invitation. Please note that all collaborators must also have a free BiT account. Once established, program collaborators' permissions may be viewed, edited, and/or removed by using the Program Collaborators drop-down menu. Manage grant funding sources is another key administrative element. This section allows users to enter various funding sources that can be tracked alongside completed site activities. Funding sources may vary from federal, state, and local resources to private contributions. To create a new funding source, select New Record, give it an appropriate name, and complete the information. You can keep track of the dollar amount for which the funding source has contributed. If it happens to be an EPA grant, you can put in that two-letter digit code. You can keep track of start dates, end dates, if the grant or funding source happens to expire. You can also select the type of funding that it is. Is it an EPA grant? Is it local, state, tribal, or other sources of funding? There's also data fields to keep track of the contact for the particular grant or funding source. And if you happen to be an RLF grantee using BiT, there's also data fields to keep track of loan borrowers or sub-grant recipients. And always, always remember to save your information when working within BiT. Once you have funding sources established, you can keep track of funding distributions per a particular program. So you can see the funding activity, the costs, as well as the sites for which those activities were completed on. You can also view funding allocations per a particular site. For example, this particular site received funding from 2 different types of funding sources to complete the activities. Each section of BiT also includes a comments tab where you can keep track of additional information or notes, or even provide notes to collaborators within your program. As you work throughout BiT, you may find that some default menu items don't quite fit your needs. Not a problem. Under Edit Default Menus, you can add new information to match your program. First, select from the list of default menu items. For example, sources of funding. If a particular funding source was not available, you can add whatever that may be, say a nonprofit organization. A particular site type that is missing from the drop-down menu for a particular site designation, you can go ahead and add that here, save it, and then when you go to add a site, that will be available for you. Now that you've created a program and you have some funding sources, it is now time to start adding sites. Adding and tracking site activities and other BiT functions, such as mapping, importing, and exporting data, are covered under additional tutorials. Please visit the KSU TAB YouTube channel to view more.